On this video, I would like to continue what I have been doing, and that is working my way through the book of Revelation, looking at the Greek text and also looking at the grammar as I go through it, reading it and then analyzing some of the grammar, sort of a grammatical analysis. So in verse 9, he's describing the New Jerusalem, what it is like. And as we read it then, kai eothen eis ek ton hepta angelon ton ekanton ta hepta fialas ton gemanton ton hepta plegon ton eskaton kai elale sen met emu legon. Then came one out of the seven angels who are having the seven last plagues, who had the seven bowls, uh, the seven bowls full of the seven last plagues. Eothen is the aorist indicative active third person singular from erchomai. One out of the seven angels who um, were having, notice ekanton is from echo, it's the present participle genitive masculine plural from echo. So one out of the seven angels who are having the seven plagues full, or the seven bowls, I should say, tas hepta fe'alas, which are full, ton gemanton, from gemo. A gemanton is your present participle genitive masculine plural, who are full of the seven last plagues. Ton hepta plegon ton eskaton. So who are full of the seven last plagues. Kai elale sen met emu. And he spoke with me, that is one of the angels. Elale sen is from laleo. It is the aorist indicative active third person singular. He spoke with me saying, legon from lego, present participle nominative masculine singular. Duro, dexo soi, tain nuphain, tain gunaika tu arneu. That is, come, I will show you. Dexe is from dek numi. It's the future indicative active first person singular. I will show you the bride, the wife of the Lamb. Tain numfain, tain gunaika tu arneu. Again, speaking of the New Jerusalem and the church in its final state, I believe. And then he continues, verse 10. Kai apeniken me in pneumati epi oras mega kai hupselan. That is, and he brought me by the Spirit, or he carried me by the Spirit away to a great and high mountain. Notice Anakin is the aorist indicative active from Pharaoh, to carry. So he carried me by the Spirit away to a great epi oras mega and high mountain, Hupsolan, and he showed me kai edexin moi tain palain tain Hagion, Jerusalem. He showed me the city, that is the city, the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven. Notice here, Katabainu san is from Katabaino. It's the present, or the aorist, the present participle, accusative plural from Katabaino. So he showed me the great city coming down out of heaven. Present active participle, as we said, third feminine singular from Katabaino. And notice what he says as he looks at it, having the glory of God. It's coming down out of heaven from God, Ekusan, having the glory of God. What a beautiful picture here. He's showing this city coming down as very brilliant, having the glory of God. So he carried me away, and by the way, instead of Pharaoh, it was Appa Pharaoh, I should have said, to carry away, having the glory of God. In other words, it's shining and it's brilliant. And then he goes on, ha foster autes, hamoias litho timiatato, hos litho yas pidi crustalizanti. That is, its light was like to a most precious stone, as the stone of a jasper that is sparkling like crystal. Notice here, as we look at this, its light was like to the most precious stone. Timi otati is a superlative here from timios, precious. Most precious stone as a jasper stone, crustalizanti, which sparkles. What a beautiful picture of the final, can I say, the church as a final sparkling stone. Ios pidi is, of course, the dative, but it means like a jasper. And this would represent a wonderful, beautiful, precious stone, is the idea. It's brilliant and it's sparkling. Crustalizanti is from crustalizo. It's your dative singular participle. Participle, present participle, masculine dative singular from crustalizo. And then he continues, Ekusa tejas mega kai hupsolan, having a great and high wall. This city is a beautiful city that's having a great and high wall. Looking no doubt at the protection that God's people will have in eternity. Ekusa polunas dodeka, having 12 gates, or 12 gates, epigegramena, having then, and upon the gates, kai epitois pulosin, angelus deduca, upon the gates, 12 angels, and the names having been written, that is, kai anamata epigegrammena, from epigrapho, a perfect passive participle, the names having been written, ha estenta anamata ton dodeka fulon huion Yisrael, which are the names, the 12 names of the tribe of the sons of Israel, are on the gates. And then he continues, verse 13. That means that the saints of the Old Testament, it seems to me, are going to be there. Then apa anatales palunes tres, and from the rising of the sun. This would be from the east. The rising of the sun, tres, 3. Kayapa bora pulonas tres. And not only from the east, but also from the north. From the north, 3. Kayapa natu pulones, and from the natu is the word that means south. From the south, 3. Kayapa dusmon, and from the dusmon pulones, 3. And not only from the south, but also dusmon, going down, or really from the west, 3. And then he goes on to say, kaita tekas tes paleos ekon themelius deduka, and the wall had of the city having 12 foundations. In other words, very stable, 12 foundations. And upon kayapi auton dodeka anamataton dodeka apostolon tu arneu. And upon them the 12 names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb, which seems to represent the church being there as well upon this foundation. And it's interesting. I give a quote from Ford, who writes, each foundation was probably a stout, oblong block, like the stones that may still be seen in the lower rows of the Herodian masonry at Jerusalem. So it's looking at stability of this house. And notice, looking at the security of the church, no doubt in eternity. And what a contrast between that and what we are finding as John is writing it, to what's going on with the danger and the suffering that the church is going through under the under Rome, and what Rome is doing to the people of God, or to the church. It is interesting as we look at this. John is expanding. I'm giving a quote here from Breaking the Code, again by Bruce Metzger. I appreciate his work very much, on page 100. At this point, John expands his initial announcement concerning the New Jerusalem and presents an elaborate description of the heavenly city. And this will go on from 9 to 22:5. He tells us that one of the 7 angels, you want to grab it, honey? Tells us that one of the 7 angels basically is giving him that message of the
Mary, for goodness sake.